What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. UFC Fight Night Nicolau versus Perez just took place a couple hours ago. I'm a little bit late. I was on holiday and I was driving back, so I wasn't able to make the video as quickly as I wanted to. But the card took place and it was actually a pretty fun card. The prelims were a bit dead, which is good because I missed them because I pretty much slept through all of them because they started at 6 a.m. in Australia. And then the main card was actually sick and one of the better main cards of like an Apex Fight Night all year. I know that's not a high bar, but I'm going to talk about every single fight on the card, giving my reaction and breakdown, and also talk about my picks on the night because I went pretty well. So let's get started. Machado versus Gabriel Benitez. This one was a close fight. It ended up being a split decision. Could have gone either way. I picked Machado, so of course I 100% endorsed the decision going to him. But it was pretty close. It wouldn't have been a robbery either way, in my opinion. All three rounds were pretty close from what I saw. If I'm wrong there and there was like a clear round for anyone, let me know. But it was 29-28 split, so 2 for Machado, 1 for Benitez. And yeah, all three of the rounds from what I saw, or at least the first two, was just them trading on the feet. Kicks, Benitez was landing good low kicks. Machado's boxing was alright, but yeah, it was pretty even. Just a tit-for-tat battle on the feet. And yeah, seemed like a pretty close fight, and I don't think the decision was bad. Let's move on, though, to another fight. Ivana Petrovic versus Nicolau. I picked Petrovic because Nicolau is shit. And yeah, Petrovic got it done. Nicolau does what she always does. She had a good first round. I think she won the first round, I think, from memory. But yeah, she got some takedowns. She was looking alright on the ground. And then she kind of either just like gasses out or just doesn't know what the fuck to do past the first round. Or maybe all of her offense just becomes ineffective because every single time, without fail, she actually looks decent in the first round, fights like a spastic like she always does, and it actually works in round one. But after round one, it stops working. She just got grappled after that. Petrovic got her down a bunch of times, controlled her, and then ended up getting her at arm triangle from a weird position too. It almost looked like she was like on a rear naked choke position without the hooks, but it was an arm triangle. So weird position, got the tap regardless. Great win from Petrovic. Did what she should have. And I don't think people should criticize her and say, oh, finish her in the first round. Like, not many people finish Nicolau in the first round because she always wins the first round just being retarded and then just loses after that being retarded. So yeah, it's kind of hard to look really good the whole time against Nicolau, but good win from Petrovic. Let's move on. James Lontop versus Chris Padilla. This one was probably the upset of the card. I guess, obviously, main event was more high profile in terms of an upset, but this one was the biggest upset on the card betting-wise. James Lontop came in as like a minus 450 favourite. Padilla coming in on like a week's notice. No one really thought he was going to win. I didn't see really anyone picking him. I didn't even know much about Lontop. I didn't know much about Padilla. Both of these guys have not fought in the UFC before this, and so I just was like, I looked at the odds and I'm like, okay, yeah, Lontop's pretty fucking good. I checked out his record. I'm like, okay, yeah, he looks better than Padilla, who'd lost like 5 times on random regional fights. But his grappling looked sick in this fight. He got really good timed takedowns, got Lontop down a couple times early. He got back up, so fair play to him. But on the feet, I mean, it wasn't like one-way traffic from Lontop and then it was all Padilla just trying to crotch sniff to win. Like, the stand-up was competitive. Lontop looked a little bit better, a bit more dangerous. But yeah, Padilla got him down, and then at one point, with about 40 seconds to go in the first round, it looked like sort of a takedown or a slip, and then Padilla, his mouthpiece actually also came out, and he still won, so good job. But he ends up on the back because Lontop tries to turn away because that's how he got up the first 2 times. He turned away to give up the back. He kind of like didn't settle on the position and then just turned away to stand up. And this time he tried to do that and then he got his back taken and he got choked out. So fair play. And good, and we tapped out, yeah. So fair play, good win to Chris Padilla. Wins as an underdog, so great stuff. Ketlin Souza versus Manik Man. This one was just a case of Ketlin Souza being more manly than Manik Man, even though her name would indicate that she may be transgender. No, Ketlin Souza, all seriousness, she looked way better on the feet than Manik Man, who's awful, so it's not that impressive. But yeah, more power, she landed the better shots. If you look on the stats, you'll be like, oh, no knockdowns. Manik Man landed more strikes, but no, significant strikes. It was all Souza. Manik Man really didn't land anything damaging. She got a couple takedowns at points, but Souza got takedowns, and when she got takedowns, she actually did shit with it, got control, landed ground and pound, And yeah, she looked okay, but it's Marnik Man, so it's not that impressive. But she gets the decision win, unanimous 30-27. She just did more damage every round, so good job to her. But let's move on to the next fight. Don Tail Mays versus Kiro Machado, the battle of the fat boys, the battle of the piggies. And yeah, Mays won a decision. He won the battle of the piggies. He knocked Machado down in the first round, so they were looking alright. Like, they were looking, like some typical NPC fat heavyweights. Mays looked, they both kind of looked, it's hard to tell who had the speed advantage, but at one point towards the end of the first, less than a minute to go, Mays actually dropped Machado with a massive right hand, put him back, and then he kind of just didn't try and land any ground and pound, which was weird, but whatever. So he fumbled the finish in the first, and then second and third was just whatever. It was boring. I think Mays won the second, Machado won the third, if I'm correct. If not, I really don't care. But yeah, good job, Mays. Gets the win. I picked him to win as well as a slight underdog. But let's move on to the next fight. Austin Hubbard versus Mikhail Figlak. I picked Figlak to win because I thought he was like a decent guy coming off the regional scene, and then he got dealt a tough card in his debut and he would look better this time around. And he looked okay, but Hubbard just used his crafty veteranship, used the tactics of, getting occasional takedowns and doing nothing with them, just looking like you're in control of the fight, landing some shots at range and doing some little weird stuff. But no, I thought Figlak definitely could have won this fight. If you look on MMA decisions, every single media member actually scored it for Figlak, and like half of them scored at 30-27. So when I initially saw this, because again, I woke up late because the card was at like 6 a.m. start time. So I was trying to sleep in a little bit, and I looked on MMA decisions, and I was like, okay, this was a blatant robbery. No one scored it for Hubbard. Apparently, the consensus is it wasn't that bad of a robbery. Like, most people kind of think Figlak should have won, but there's definitely an argument to say Hubbard just kind of looked like he was in control, I guess, for the first two. On the scorecards, he won. It was unanimous, which is weird, not even a split. He won the first two and then lost the third on every scorecard. But from what I heard, a lot of people did think Figlak won. I'll go back and rewatch it after this, but I don't know. I don't really care that much. Let's move on, though. Good win from Hubbard, I guess. Tough one for Figlak, coming off the fucking regional scene. That's 2 losses now in the UFC. So let's move on. Victor Henry versus Honey Yaya. This was probably my most confident pick of the card. Victor Henry's just a better striker than Honey Yaya, and Honey Yaya's only danger is just jiu-jitsu, and he doesn't even have wrestling. He shot 10 takedowns on Victor Henry and did not get a single one. In the first round, he actually looked weirdly okay on the feet. He was landing some decent shots, but apart from that, it was all Henry. He's not a very powerful guy because he took a he did knock him down a couple times with like a right hand, I think, and he was kicking him well, but Henry's finishing potential is not crazy good because he basically had a punching bag in front of him and he took a standing TKO. Literally flush head kicked Yaya and didn't drop him with it. So Henry's power is probably not the most concerning to any future opponents, but Yaya's a 40-year-old bantamweight. He was always going to lose this. He doesn't even get takedowns on his opponents. I don't know how he's ever won fights before. But yeah, good win from Henry, I guess, gets the finish. But yeah, not that impressive in terms of the opponent. Let's move on, though, to the main card. Tim Means versus Uros Medic. I picked Uros Medic to win by TKO, and he got it done by pretty much KO, I would say, in the first round. Means came out looking strong, shooting some takedowns, was trying to muscle him around a little bit, but he actually didn't get Medic down, because I think after Medic's last fight against Oralby, he kind of probably made it a conscious effort to be like, yeah, I'm not getting ragdolled and taken down. And so, yeah, he did not let Means take him down. Means was exerting a lot of energy, and then on the feet you could kind of just see Means is just nowhere near as quick as him. Medic had the power and the speed, and that's always going to go badly for the other person on the feet. And yeah, cracked him with a massive uppercut and pretty much KO'd him, but dropped him and then one more shot, put him away. Massive performance, great win from Uros Medic, gets the bonus. Yeah, Tim Means, it was pretty comfortable to pick him. He's lost to Alex Morono by finish. He beat Andre Fialho, and that was his performance where he looked okay, but Fialho's dog shit. So yeah, Uros Medic, he's only lost to Jalen Turner and then Oralby, so he's only lost to a really good striker at lightweight and then a really good grappler. So, not too hard on him. I think he's still a top-level guy. Not top-level, but a very promising unranked guy that could become ranked. Still, he's not too old either, despite the hairline looking tragic. But he got the big KO, so good job. First round TKO win for him against Means to open up the main card. And yeah, this was after those decisions and stuff. Victor Henry kind of turned it around because that fight was fun. And then the main card kind of carried the momentum because it was actually a pretty fun main card. So we're going to talk about the next fight now. David Onama versus Jonathan Pearce. This was basically a tale of athleticism versus like cardio and wrestling, I guess. Like striking combined with just athleticism compared to just gritty wrestling and cardio. Because Pearce clearly had the better cardio, he had the better wrestling, but his striking wasn't as good, and Onama was just athletic and powerful and explosive enough in moments of the fight to just not get held down for ages. Even though in the second round he did get held down a lot, he also got taken down in the first, but he was able to just reverse out of like having his back taken and end up on top because he's got no hips and it's really hard to hold onto a body triangle. So he would just explode, turn out similar to how Chandler did against Oliveira. That could, when you just explode and turn over into them. And he did that like multiple times, like 5 times total, I swear, against Pearce. You would have thought Pearce would do something about it and not let him just keep getting reversed. But good job, Onama. He was tuning him up when they were on the feet for the most part. It just looks better. Even if you're like, oh, he's actually not doing that much damage, it kind of just looks like you can see one guy's in control of the stand-up. That was Onama. But Pearce got a bunch of nice takedowns. Unfortunately, wasn't able to really get to a submission threat or land any really good ground and pound. But yeah, first round I gave to Onama, second round clearly to Pearce, and then third round I gave to Onama because he actually kind of came out and just made a conscious effort to not be as retarded, just stuff takedowns, not just go to ground whenever someone makes contact with you and just give up the takedown immediately. Because I was considering picking Pearce earlier in the week. I picked Onama in the end, but I was thinking like, damn, Pearce is just going to spam takedowns. He doesn't really get finished that much, and I don't know, Onama seems like a guy that kind of quits a little bit, and it seems like he was kind of quitting in the second, but third round his coaches got in his ear and said, hey mate, just go for it, and then keep him on the outside. He stuffed a bunch of his takedowns in the third, looked great, and then at the end these two thought they were Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje. You ain't fighting for the BMF title, little bro, but they were swinging, actually crazy last 10 seconds. They didn't even move, they were just, it wasn't even combinations, they were just swinging left arm, right arm, left arm, right arm. They were doing a little dance, like, to the side, back, forth, like they were fucking just one arm after the other, just in sync, just swinging. It was actually pretty fun, even though like nothing landed. Similar to Khamzat and Usman as well at the end of their fight. But yeah, good fight, pretty fun for the most part. Obviously slowed down at points with Pearce in the grappling, but Onama did enough to reverse it and did enough damage to win on the scorecards by unanimous decision. So good win for him. Let's move on to the next fight. Jonata Denise versus Austin Lane. This is just the tried and true method of never picking former NFL players. If anyone picked Austin Lane, you should have learned after Braxton Smith. Do not pick these fat fucks. They're just athleticism and power, and then they've got no cardio, and they quit immediately after adversity. Because Austin Lane basically just spear tackled, and just like took down Denise in like the first 20 fucking seconds. I was like, Jesus Christ, world champion level, or not world champion level, but like championship level kickboxer is about to just get wrestle fucked the whole time by this NFL reject. But and he did. He got ragdolled for the entire first round. He even got mounted at one point. I was like, damn, if there was like 20 seconds left, probably could have gotten a stoppage. But second round came out. He tried to do his little spear tackle again because it's not even a double leg. He just runs at you head first and tries to take you down with no technique and just all strength. And eventually Denise like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to not let you take me down. And so he just didn't. And then he just started punching Lane real hard in the face, and Lane didn't like it because he's an NFL player and they don't want to get punched in the face. Because Lane actually was quick as fuck. I mean, he looked pretty quick and he was landing some jabs, landing some twos, but he's got no defense. He's like put all his stats into offense. He's put no stats into cardio, no stats into chin, no stats into grit or heart or anything, no stats into defense. It's all offense. And then, yeah, Denise, who doesn't even look like that good in terms of like, I mean, he looked solid, like he's got great power, but he's out of shape. He looks just tubby, and I don't know, he just looked kind of mid. But fair play, gets the win. He cracked Lane a bunch of times. Lane was like out on his feet and then lands a massive left hook, and I was like, oh, he rocked him. But then Lane just dies and falls to the canvas. Similar to how Phil Hawes lost to Bruno Ferreira, if you want to go back and rewatch that fight. Very similar KOs where the shot lands and it takes, not quite as like delayed as Barboza Quarantillo. That was a different kind of, Barboza Burgos, sorry. But still, kind of a delayed reaction, and he just face plants the canvas and just fucking fat, obese fucks. Well, no, he's not even fat. He's just tall with no skill. So yeah, Lane got knocked out by Tafa, got knocked out by Denise. This guy is incapable of winning a fight against anyone with striking capability. But let's move on to the next fight. Karine Silva versus Ariel de Silva, otherwise known as Lipski. Apparently she changed her name. But yeah, Karine Silva won this fight pretty comfortably. I would have said either 30-27 or 29-28. No argument to give the fight to Lipski/De Silva. Karine Silva won the first round, and in the first and second. Second round was clear. Lipski had zero moments the whole time, apart from some kicks off her back to the knees of Karine Silva. First round was like competitive on the feet. Karine Silva gets the takedown, threatens a couple submission attempts, looking good, control time, and then some sort of reversal or sweep happens, and then Silva ends up on bottom. Lipski kicks her legs for a little bit. There was a lot of that in this fight, and then eventually goes down to the guard and just lays on top for a little bit. So I think, based off grappling effectiveness and who did more when they were on top, I would have said the first round pretty clearly to Karine Silva. Clearly won the second. Third round, Lipski looked good in the clinch, was landing some knees and stuff, and then Karine Silva again just takes her down. And I think it's probably just the visual of like, I think like when you lose the first round grappling and you lose the second round grappling, it doesn't even matter if the grappling in the third round's not that effective and you arguably could have won on the feet. It's like, oh, look, they just did exactly what they did in the last two, and you kind of forget that they didn't really do much, and so you go, oh yeah, grappled, good job, employed your game plan, and then yeah, you win. So Silva won pretty clearly, and then turns out fucking Joe Martinez, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Make some noise if you are ready. Bro was not ready. He went to the fucking bathroom to take a shit or something, because they brought out some female announcer to like announce the scorecards. I swear to God, she wasn't even like announcing them. She was like reading them. She's like, the judges score the contest 30-27, 29-28, and 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Karine Silva. Like, she wasn't even, like, announcing it. She just read them, like, just speaking. Like, cool. And then she also was there for the introductions and winner of the Span Guskov fight, but Martinez got back from his shit break for the main event. So that was kind of funny. But good job. First female commentator in UFC. Woo! Good job. Let's move on to the co-main event, the real fight. Bogdan Guskov versus Ryan Spann. I called this shit. I told you guys that picking Guskov made no sense, but you should do it anyway. That was my exact prediction. I said Ryan Spann is literally a better fighter than him, but pick Guskov, he's going to win by something retarded. Called this perfectly. I will take my credit. Thank you very much. If any of you are intelligent and bet on Guskov as an underdog, I will accept PayPal donations with half of your winnings. But all jokes aside, this was a sick win from Guskov. I mean, he got fucking ragdolled in the first round. Like, this guy's got no grappling. He needs to sort that out, because Ryan Spann is not even like a top 5 grappler in the division. Like, this guy's going to get out grappled by Ozdemir again. He's going to get out grappled by Krylov. He's going to get out-grappled by Rakic, Blachowicz, like Ankalaev. This guy's going to get out-grappled by fucking everyone if he doesn't fix that takedown defense, because Spann pretty much almost had him finished in the first. He didn't really land much on the feet in the first. Guskov did all right, but Spann gets him down, which is on his back, like back mount, just pressing his fucking head into the ground, going for rear naked chokes, throwing some ground and pounds, taking his back when he tried to sit up, and Gushkov's like, the fuck is this? It was looking like some Anthony Smith forgot how to grapple, bro. But second round, Spann was kind of gassed because he doesn't normally just push a wrestling pace, and it was a heavy pace because he spent a lot of energy keeping control and really trying to dominate him on the ground. And then second round comes, Guskov was landing some big shots, and Spann was landing on him, but Gushkov's chin actually looked really good. I thought his chin would be a bit worrying because the Ozdemir fight, he got clipped and pretty much put out on the feet. before getting subbed, but Span was landing big shots on his chin, and I would have normally considered Span a bigger puncher than Ozdemir. Maybe that's just me, but that's what I thought before this, but apparently not, because Span was landing clean on this guy's chin, and he was taking it, he was eating it. Bro is Anthony Smith on roids. He ain't getting finished by Span, he ain't getting rocked or put down, his eye ain't getting swollen up, bro. On paper, Bogdan Guskov is the best fighter of all time. And on paper, he's actually better than Anthony Smith. Literally, Bogdan Guskov is Anthony Smith on paper. Like, when Anthony Smith says, if I show up, I beat everyone, this is what he means. He means if I showed up like Bogdan Guskov with the ability to just get dominated and then just be fine afterwards and then get fucking cracked and just not go down, then I would win. And if I had one-shot power, I would win. So that's what Anthony means. Very reasonable statement when he says he would beat everyone in the division on his best day. Unfortunately, he is not Bogdan Guskov, though, although they are similar. Bogdan landed massive shots on Span, landed a big uppercut. He was cracking him a couple times before that, and I was like, come on, Bogdan, let's fucking go. But then he landed a massive uppercut. Span was out on his feet. Look at this man's eyes. He's off into space. Puts him down. Span goes down. He was kind of trying to hold on to a single leg. Guskov's having none of that shit. Pushed his head off and then just starts drilling his fucking thick skull, dumbass brain into the canvas. All love to Ryan Span, of course. I mean, no love to Ryan Span. Fuck you. But yeah, Ryan Span said this is why I picked Guskov, because Ryan Span's media day, or this is what aided my confidence. Ryan Span's media day, he said he hasn't watched tape on Guskov. He's just going to see how it goes. He doesn't really know what to expect. Like, that's where you're mistaken, my friend, because you need to know what to expect with Bogdithy Smith Guskov. That's where you've gone wrong. But yeah, puts him out, ground and pound, vicious stuff from Bogdan, gets on the mic. He's a funny guy. He's got personality. This guy's better than Anthony Smith in all ways, except for delusion. Anthony Smith, the only thing he's better than Bogdan at is being delusional and maybe grappling. But on the mic, he's a funny guy. Smith is not funny. Smith just gets triggered. Bogdan, he's laughing it up. He's having a good time, and he's here for a fun. He's here for a fun time. So great job, Bogdan. Highlight of the card, in my opinion, and he really brought the energy up after the women's fight kind of lowered it a little bit. But let's move on to the main event. Alex Perez versus Mateusz Nicolau, sorry. He's not Polish. But Mateusz Nicolau lost by KO. He's got no chin. Alex Perez. First round was back and forth. Perez landed some good shots. Nicolau, he tries to snipe all the time. He backs up a lot. He tries to find the perfect shot. But Perez did him like Topuria did to Volk. It was literally just the victim weight version of Topuria Volkanovski, because he was cracking him a little bit and then he kind of backed him up and just extended the combination. And Nicolau was defending. He wasn't getting hit. And then that last shot, when his guard kind of goes down, is what put him away. And he kind of landed almost exactly like Volk 2, head down on the knees. Bad KO. Good win from Perez, though. He was on a big loss streak, so he definitely did need to win this. And yeah, fair play. How good is Muhammad Mokaev? No, I'm kidding. But also, Manel Kape is kind of shit, is what this proves, because he, even if you thought he beat Nicolau, took him to a decision, took Felipe Dos Santos to a decision, but then we got Alex Perez sleeping Nicolau on the same level as Royval, because Royval's the only other one to do this, and he did it with a punch. Perez did it with a punch, so good job for him, good win, gets 50k bonus, fair play. And yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Quick recap. It's never quick here. Fucking quick recap means a 30-minute video. But a little bit less than that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bogdan Guskov is the GOAT. I'm going to be making a video on him soon. So yeah, that'll be fun. But see you guys in the next one. Peace out.